All right, we are live. I'm super excited to do the first career strategy session during your lunch break, and we have an awesome guest today, Tamisha McQuilkin. Did I pronounce it right, Tamisha?
Almost. It's McQuilkin.
McQuilkins. Oh, okay. So Tamisha is dynamic. She is the audience development producer for General Assembly Atlanta campus. So super excited to have you. You can start by telling us what General Assembly is and what you do day to day.
General Assembly is an educational institution. We teach courses in business, technology, and design. And it's more of a continuing education for adults who want to level up their careers or change careers from accounting to web development or account management to user experience design. A lot of people come to General Assembly to gain skills to implement in their business as well. So if you're a business owner and you want to increase your digital marketing skills, you can take a part-time course here, learn some great strategies in 10 weeks, and really go back and see your ROI on your tuition. So it's a very collective community for people to come together and learn and also network.
Awesome. So tell us about your role at General Assembly.
As an audience development producer, I'm responsible for producing, scheduling, executing all of the workshops and events that we have on campus. So a workshop is anything that's 2 hours, 1 hour and up all the way up to 8 hours. We also do boot camps, which are 2 days or 1 day on a full day. And then we also do workshop series, which may be every Tuesday for 3 weeks. And this is an opportunity for anybody to come to campus and learn on a specific topic, anywhere from career development to web development, learning how to code, learning what product management is and how they can implement that into their startup. So really taking all the overarching full-time and part-time courses that we offer and breaking them down into small chunks for people to come and learn on a short-term basis. And then our events are mostly networking. We do a lot of mixers. We do a lot of happy hours. We also do a lot of panel discussions. So we'll bring in influencers in the community, executives, industry professionals to come and speak about their experience. So for an example of a panel is we do a Women in Tech breakfast, and we bring various women from different areas of technology, whether it be client services in a tech startup, or they're an email developer, or they may be a data scientist. And we have a host ask them a variety of questions on their work-life balance, how they broke into the industry, and it gives people an opportunity to learn how they got started and how they can also break in. Yeah, so they're a little more informal than the workshops, but it gives people an opportunity to interact with like-minded people.
So you organize all of these events, and on average, how many events are you organizing per week?
Per week. On our per week events, we probably have about 3 events per week, and then probably around 8 or 9 workshops. I would say in a given quarter, we have about 100 and close to 150 workshops and events combined, different instances that we produce here at General Assembly. So it's pretty intense.
That is intense. So Let's take a step back. What did you want to be when you were a little girl?
When I was a little girl, I wanted to be a stockbroker. That was my ambition. I wanted to work on Wall Street. I wanted to work with numbers. And I actually accomplished that goal. That was my first career out of college. And I didn't study finance in college. I actually studied marketing. But I was able to break into that industry, break into the finance industry. I achieved my Series 3 license. I was trading futures, which is in commodities, which is like heating oil, crude oil, currencies, things like that. And I was an analyst where I would be kind of the liaison between the trader and the client. So basically delivering the strategies, telling them what the market is doing at the time and why they should buy or sell.
So this brings me to my next question, which is a great segue. Because you've had these parallels in 2 different industries, what does navigating the career jungle mean to you?
Navigating the career jungle means like really just finding your way. And in the jungle, there's really no path to take. Like you have to make your own path and just really just get out there and just keep going forward. And that's what I found in my career is that like if I reached a roadblock, just don't get down on yourself. Just find a new path, find a new outlet, a new way to really do the things that you want to do. And most importantly, set goals, like travel with the end in mind. So if you know you want that really great position and you're qualified for it, keep moving. Just keep your eye on the prize and you will get there.
So tell us, how did you get into this current position at General Assembly? I know you've told me the story before, but I think it's a really awesome story to share, to piggyback on that, you create your own path.
Absolutely. So prior to working at General Assembly, I was an entrepreneur. I was really a solopreneur because I was the only employee in my company. So I was working in the e-commerce industry and I was selling various products on Amazon and eBay and all these different social selling platforms. And I was very successful with it. But what I found was that I wasn't socializing, I wasn't meeting new people, I wasn't growing, I wasn't really gaining any new skills, and I really wanted to be able to take my business to the next level and my professional development as well. So I started joining some organizations and that helped a lot, but it really wasn't fulfilling the purpose that I was looking for. So I decided that I wanted to learn how to code so I can either build my own platform or I can take that and really make my business more robust, just to see where it would take me, because technology has been my passion for a really long time. So I was on Twitter one day just scrolling, minding my business, and I saw an ad for General Assembly, like, hey, we have this women's scholarship, you can learn how to code. I'm like, scholarship? That sounds like something that I need right now. You know, I don't have to pay for it and I can immerse myself and just really do this. So I applied for the scholarship and just reading more about General Assembly, and I'm like, wow, this is cool. And at the time, General Assembly wasn't in Atlanta. So I applied for the scholarship. I was either gonna have to move to New York or move to some other city that the General Assembly was in at the time. So I submitted my application and I just so happened to click Hong Kong by accident. Didn't even know it. I thought I applied for the New York one, but so the admissions team called me back and they were like, yeah, we got your application. You know, we're calling you from Hong Kong. And I was like, whoa, I was like, Hong Kong? I thought I applied for New York, but okay. So I just continued with the interview process, and I was actually committing to like moving to Hong Kong for 12 weeks and immersing myself in learning how to code and the culture, because I love to travel anyway. So a few weeks later, I found out that I didn't get the scholarship, and I was like, okay, well, now I got to figure out how to finance it. Like, I'm still thinking I'm going to Hong Kong. So Hong Kong, they offered me a scholarship, but it wasn't enough to cover my whole tuition. And I was like, wow, like I really need to commit now if this is something that I'm going to do. So I had to really make a quick decision if I was going to go for the next cohort. So at the time, General Assembly was just touching down in Atlanta. This was probably April of 2014. Of last year, actually. And they were just running some random events here and workshops there. And I was like, well, let me go and see what they're about. Let's meet some of their staff, meet their people. And the first event that I actually went to was a fireside chat with Michael Tavani. And he's an inspirational story because he's from DeKalb County, just like I am. And he built this startup from the ground up. And it wasn't his first startup. He had other startups before that did not or not successful. And that particular startup was successful at Scout Mob. Most people know that as one of the deal sites. So that was just a really inspirational story for me to see somebody who came from the same neighborhood that I did and was able to find success in the technology industry. And that kind of really, the first event really solidified it for me that General Assembly is a good organization. They're associated with people who are successful in the industry that I want to be in. And I think I went to a couple of other follow-up workshops and events after that, and they were just launching their first campus and they were growing their team, and I had built some relationships with the staff, and they were like, if you're interested in joining the organization, now is the time. And I was like, well, let me check out the website, see what type of positions they had open. And I actually applied. I don't remember which position I applied for, and I interviewed for 2 different positions with like 7 different people, and I ended up not getting any of the positions that I applied for, but they actually wanted me to join the organization. They liked my passion, my background, and they said, you can work for us part-time until there is a position open for you, a full-time position that fits your background. So I was like, sure. I took the opportunity. I was still running my business, and it to me, it was something social to do. I was able to meet people and get paid at the same time and learn. So it was a win-win. So maybe 2 weeks into my part-time position, the person who had my role now quit. She wanted to do something else, and they offered me her position, and it was a perfect fit because I had, had a marketing background, marketing degree, and I had run several events for my nonprofit organization and marketing positions I had before. So I really jumped right in, head feet, being able to, hit the ground running. So it was a really good transition for me because I was looking for a way to break into the technology industry on a more corporate side, because I was really working as an entrepreneur, and they really gave me an opportunity to do that.
And I think that story is awesome. I know I've heard it before, but I love it every time I hear it. You said something that I want you to elaborate on. You mentioned that you have a nonprofit organization.
Yeah.
So as far as navigating the career jungle, when I see it, I know many millennials are multitasking and they have multiple passions. So they're doing these in parallel. So tell us about your nonprofit organization as well.
Yeah. My best friend and I and her mom co-founded a nonprofit organization called Women with a Vision Foundation back in 2009. And Women with a Vision Foundation, or also known as WWAV or WAV, we help women who've been victims of domestic violence and substance abuse. And this was a topic that was very dear to all of our hearts because my best friend was a victim. Her mom was a victim of substance abuse, and my friend was a victim of domestic violence. So we really wanted to be able to help women to, one, not become a victim in the first place, two, help them if they were a victim and know that they have resources, and three, once they've really found themselves, to help them really fly after that and be independent and not reliant on any man or any body to be successful and content with themselves. So Women with a Vision, we do a lot of community outreach, we do a lot of fundraising, we do a lot of events for the I would say survivors, rather, to help boost their confidence, to help give them resources that they may not have, whether it's tech training, resume skills, even spiritual guidance, exposing them to yoga and meditation, and just really finding themselves again. Because when you're in those types of abusive situations, whether it's domestic abuse or substance abuse, you kind of lose yourself, your sense of self, and your goals. So just helping them center themselves back is like really our main goal, and just also prevention. So speaking with middle school children and high school kids and helping them identify what domestic violence looks like and how to not become a victim, and letting them know that it's not okay and that they have options to remove themselves from those types of situations.
And I'll make sure that I send the link out to anyone so that they can check out the organization as well.
Yeah.
So this is a career strategy session. So I have to ask you, what are your 5-year career goals?
My 5-year career goals, in 5 years, I hope to be back in my entrepreneurial role. Like, actually right now I'm working on a startup because I took a mobile development class. I'm building a mobile app, and I'm hoping that this app takes off and people are able to use it, because it started with a problem that I had when I'm shopping. So I'm like, if I can build something that will solve a problem that I have, I'm pretty sure other people have this same problem. So I'm hoping in 5 years that my app has taken off in the App Store and somebody wants to buy it, maybe Facebook or Google or somebody like that wants to buy it, and I'm just on a yacht in the south of France somewhere. I hope to retire early. That's the plan, actually.
I'm all for retiring early. So, Tamisha, let's take it one step further and tell me about a time you had a career challenge and at the moment you felt like you could not overcome it. What was that challenge and how did you get through it?
I definitely think the biggest challenge I had has been in being an entrepreneur, because you have to be disciplined. And if you're not disciplined, you can find yourself in financial ruin. And there have been times where I just felt lazy. I didn't feel like working. I just didn't want to, and nobody's there to tell me that I had to. So there were times where I would take 2 weeks off of work, and of course the bills don't stop coming. You really have to. I found myself in a depressed state, and I put myself in that position, and I felt like I couldn't get out of that position because I was so far behind. But what I had to do was to really explore why I got myself in that position and how I can really not fall into that position again. So just, I think it is, discipline was a really big thing for me. And even if you work for a company, just being disciplined to staying on top of your projects, staying on top of your tasks, so you don't fall so far behind, because that's what will really stress you out. And then your boss is on you, your clients are on you, and then it's just kind of like a domino effect. So staying on top of everything is like the biggest thing, or piece of advice I can give for, obstacles.
Do you have any mentors?
I was asking myself that same question, and I don't have any mentors that I meet with on a regular basis. However, there are people in my life who inspire me, and they don't know that they're my mentor, but I follow their story, I follow their accomplishments, and it helps me keep focus on, okay, she did this, so I should try to do that also. So I guess build strategy for my life and my professional development. But I would really like to find, one person who can invest time in me and I can invest time in them, that to help me really see things that I can't see for myself.
Yeah, and I think that's good. And you're in a great place to find awesome people to mentor you and invest time in you being at General Assembly. So where do you find inspiration from?
Inspiration? I find inspiration out in nature, really. I feel like I have my most inspired thoughts, or my most visions for the future when I'm out by myself walking through the woods. I like to go trail hiking or on the Beltline, just exercising when I have time to just think without distractions, and then I just get all these brilliant ideas. And of course you forget half of them because you don't write them down. But I think, being able to remove myself from distractions of my cell phone, my laptop, is where I find my most motivation and my most inspiration, just being able to listen to my thoughts. And outside of that, I'm a Pinterest type person. I would get on Pinterest and just see the different things that I'm interested in and what other people are doing in those industries or in those realms, topics. And it helps inspire me, like, oh, that's cute, I never thought of that, or that's a really good idea. And just like the related pins, if you just keep scrolling down, you just get further and further into more related things. And that's a really great source of inspiration for any topic. I mean, you can type anything into Pinterest and I'm pretty sure a picture will pop up. I'm a very visual person.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I love Pinterest, and it is like you start on one pin, and before you know it, you're 50 pin related, thinking you can do something amazing and awesome.
Exactly, yes.
So do you read books? And if so, what's the last book that you read?
I do read books. The last book that I read was You Already Know All of the People That You Need to Know. And it was a really great networking book on how to use the relationships that you already have to make future relationships. So thinking that you're alone, you're really not. You know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. It's just a matter of taking the initiative to ask that person if they know somebody, and then using LinkedIn. The book really wasn't about LinkedIn. It was a little pre-internet networking, but it was more about relationship building. And just building that trust with those people for them to actually connect you with another person, trusting you enough to connect you with somebody that they know. I like to read self-help type books. I'm not really a fiction. I'm more of a nonfiction type of person. So I have a pretty big bookcase at my house with a lot of just various random things that I'm interested in. So yeah.
Okay, so we're coming to the end of our career strategy session, and I have a couple more questions for you. Mm-hmm. Can you tell me what is the best advice you've received in your career thus far?
Best advice I've received?
Yes.
I think the best advice I've received is you're worthy. Like, you're worthy of the position that you want. Go for it. Like, nothing's going to stop you. If you're not qualified, find a way to get qualified, and you can get there. Like, nothing is impossible. And that's something that my mom used to tell me all the time. She was a very, positive, spiritual person, and she she always used to say, if there's a will, there's a way. And I truly, truly believe that if you really want something, focus on that, believe that you can already have it and be that and do it, and the universe will manifest it for you.
So the last two questions, what advice do you have for millennial women who are navigating the career jungle?
The best advice I can say is get connected. Get linked into your community, join social groups, build relationships, because I would say 5 out of the 6 positions that I've had, other than the ones that I created for myself, were found through the relationships that I already had. It wasn't filling out an application online. It wasn't, just blind. It was asking somebody if they knew something about this, and they made an introduction for me, or they gave me some advice of where I should look. So building relationships is the number one, I would say, strategy for getting ahead in your career.
I agree with you on that. So Tamisha, tell everybody where they can find you online, and I'll make sure I send the links out later today as well.
Sure. Well, my number one social media network right now is Snapchat. So you can find me on Snapchat. My username is Cupcakes for Lunch. That's Cupcakes, the number 4 lunch. I'm also on Instagram. My Instagram name is @MissBomb. So that's @ms.bomb. You can also find me on LinkedIn, Tamisha McQuilkin. And you can also find me on Twitter, and that's Tamisha 007. So like Bond. And yes, I'm out there.
So, well, thank you so much, Tamisha, for joining us for our career strategy session. I know I learned a lot, as I always do, from talking to you, and I'm sure the navigating the career jungle community will take lots of the gems away as well. Mm-hmm. So I'll send the link to the replay out to everyone in the community, and also the link so that they can connect with you and find your nonprofit. And much success for the mobile app that you're developing.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Bye.